My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to the Bazaar where you can't beat him, so you'll join him. Dually time. I mean, I just feel like there's so much more variety in the kinds of things you can do with Dually. That said, I haven't done the Monitor Lizard in a while, so if I was trying to click the companion, damn it! Oh no, I didn't scroll far enough. Critical Core. Every 6 seconds deal 10 damage, 15% crit chance. This and the items to the right have 15% crit chance. When you crit with any item, charge this a second, and when you use any item to the left, charge it a second also. Curio sells bronze junk tier items, which I don't want those this early. I'm gonna take the study for an additional experience before moving on. I think Viper beats me? I don't think I have enough health to beat Viper. I'm gonna go for the banana ball. There's nothing wrong with getting an early duct tape. It gives you a really, really good target for all of the scrap that you might pick up, which gives additional shielding to your leftmost shield item. Exactly the kind of thing you want on something that doesn't just trigger on its own cooldown, or rather, doesn't trigger on its own cooldown, but triggers on the cooldowns of both adjacent things. We've got some early money, because we didn't spend any of it. I'd like to see... Oh, what do I want to see here? I'd like... Sterling. Oh, nice, we did get the duct tape. Let me see Sterling. That's not Sterling, that's Midsworth. But a second piece of experience and some gold definitely goes a long way right here. We can have our level up before we get to the next fight. Kina sells non-weapon items, Furnace for a small burn item, Nufu sells skills. A small burn item? Or Kina? I'm probably not winning this first fight based on what I have. Imagine if I clicked Companion. Chemsnail, when you slow, charge this 3 seconds. We do have duct tape. You know what? I think I take Chemsnail. I think I replace the Critical Core right now. Do I put Copper Red on the field as well? Yeah. Why not? Friends have their cooldowns reduced. Extract the poison relation. Should I give them crit chance instead? I mean, if they ever crit... Copper Red doesn't really need to crit. That's not that useful. But if the Chem Snail ever crits... That's a lot of additional poison. Should I maybe invest in the Chem Snail a little bit here? I don't think there's a long future with the Chem Snail is the reason I don't want to do that. I'm going to take the citrus and coconut. A little bit of regen, 20 more max HP. That'll do me fine.
Go ahead, underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
Shark Claws is silver quality, so it's going to be upgrading itself. The lighter is not going to do enough damage to really have any impact on the board. The fact that I've got poison means that I'll probably just win this fight. I mean, I do now have a Chem Snail. I usually don't have a Chem Snail this early. I could see how much slow I can get in this build. I'd love a Clamorer. Slows immediately at the start of the fight. There's Armory and Jungle Ruins. I really wish there was a unique option for Dually in the Jungle Ruins, but at the same rate, do it after you change some of Julie's kit. Kev's Armory and the Regenerative Tincture. Kev's Armory has more shielding options for us. There's Induction Aegis, which is counted as a slow item, despite the fact that it doesn't slow. It's not gonna slow ever to actually trigger the Chem Snail. I could take the Critical Core and Chem Snail off the board and field all of these, and I'd actually be in a pretty good position. So the Armadillo says, when you shield, charge this for 2 seconds. I'll place that next to the duct tape so that it triggers immediately after its activation a shield, giving itself 2 seconds charge. So this will have 4 seconds worth of actual cooldown. And then I just put on a bunch of other shielding items, including Induction Aegis, which shields every 4 seconds, and then also shields from the duct tape every 4 seconds. In the late game, this would be absolutely nothing. Right now, this is incredible. Rukon, you actually have the ability to give me incredible power right now. Let's ignore it for just a second. Rukon, you have the ability to give me, I believe it's called Sharp Corners. But it's a skill that says whenever you use whenever you shield, your weapons gain additional damage. And then there's an inverse of that, which is whenever you do damage, your weapons gain shield. Anything shield related would actually be really good. I'm gonna go to Rukon. There it is. Sharp Corners. When you shield, your weapons gain 3 damage for the fight. I'm gonna sell the Chem Snail. What is this? What is this insane turbo generation of a different build going on here? When you shield, your weapons gain 3 damage for the fight. Can this beat Borea? I'm gonna be actually like dreadfully sad if I fight Borea and I can't win the fight. The damage on this board is not actually incredible, right? It's just the 20 damage coming out of Armadillo, and then that's modified by each of the additional shielding options that we have. Oh god. But if I could beat Borea, it'd be so good. Your leftmost item has plus 15 shield, frontal shielding. There's also scrap in Borea for upgrading the duct tape. Nothing in Covetous Thief is as appealing. There's some slow synergy if I wanted to go for the giant mosquito, but that's not relevant to me right now. Alright, Borea. I want to see this happen. Borea is definitely starting much more strong than I am. I'd feel a lot better if instead of getting additional damage when I shield, I got additional shield when I damage. That would be so much better for us. But my damage is really going off. Come on again, one more time. No! Literally a millisecond away from the win. Kyo sells junk, Nufu sells skills. Unfortunately, I can't go to Nufu. I'm gonna go study for a single experience. And you know what? I'm even gonna go to the Strange Mushroom for another single experience, getting me my next level up, as well as the ability to place... gain a shield item. Honestly? Yeah. Nice. I was gonna say gaining the ability to put the critical core back on board, but that's not actually gonna be the case. Brick Buddy. When you use an adjacent friend, this gains 10 shield for the fight. So I'm just gonna place that between Armadillo and my next fastest friend, which will be Wallace. The problem with the build that I currently have on board, other than the fact that I didn't beat the Borea, terrible. What? You have a weather glass? This early with a silver ramrod, silver cannon, and silver silencer. I am actually not going to win this one. Which really does surprise me. Yeah, that's just a lot of poison. The problem with this build is what direction to go in. It kind of lacks direction. Some extra max HP will definitely help me heavily. I'll take the golden experience here. As soon as I can get my critical back on board, I'm going to be in a good position. Eccentric Etherite, you could give me a direction to go here.
Oh, we haven't started yet?
Scrap is obviously good. The gold scrap for 12 additional shielding every time something adjacent to the duct tape triggers. Force field, silver force field, also pretty good. Every 4 seconds, deal 26 damage. Or rather, shield 26 and then deal damage equal to your shield. Especially in a world where I'm currently fielding the brick buddy, that would be helpful. Get him!
Knew that would happen, didn't care. Woo!
There it is. They gave me the force field. 3 loot items. It's definitely my choice here. Items cooldown. Okay, so. First off, scrap for the duct tape. That has to stay. Wallace, brick buddy, and duct tape all need to stay on the board as well. I'm going to lower the cooldown of force field very slightly. I could hit up middle. An upgrade on Brick Buddy or Armadillo would be incredible right now.
If I don't have what you need,
There's the Brick Buddy. So Brick Buddy is now giving an additional 20 shielding itself for every used adjacent friend. Yeah, the force field is going to get pretty large pretty quickly. This is going to be great. I could take a roll and still see if I hit Armadillo, but that's a very narrow... Like, it's very narrow at this point. I'm looking to just hit exactly one specific medium item. I was happier when I was trying to hit 2 of them.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
Okay. Silver tier rocket boots on board for the haste for a silver tier trebuchet is also pretty tough here. But thankfully, it deals a lot of burn, and burn I am uniquely good against with the amount of shield that I can generate. Poison's pretty tough still for me. Fortis sells shield skills, and I gotta say, there's a whole breadth of those that I would like at this point. Heavy metal, your shield items have additional shield equal to your level. Critical protector for 3 crit chance. Small shield items have 3. I mean, I'm level 4. I'm just gonna take heavy metal right now.
Here's the enemy. Here's you. Shield goes in the middle. Simple, right?
Nufu sells skills. I have the ability to buy a silver by selling something. First time you slow each fight, freeze an item for 4 seconds. There's also, first time you use a large item each fight, shield for 10% of your max health. Which is another shield trigger, giving the Armadillo another hit. Freezing an item for 4 seconds is huge, though. I'm gonna go for reserve shield. I'm gonna go all in on the shielding build. I think it'll be good. Force field, just in case Induction Aegis is killed first by the Technovirus, I'm gonna put the force field next to the duct tape. Get him! Okay, Crypto managed to take out Wallace in the Induction Aegis, and duct tape survived. Hit him in the face, 566 damage. 3 loot items, still probably the most appealing here. Get a shield item could be, but there's a lot of shield items I wouldn't even want to field in this instance. Also, I need as many, I need as much shield as I have on the board right now. I can't see when I'm putting critical back on the board. additional burn for the induction Aegis, I guess. 10% crit chance for the force field is nice. I'm going to give the induction Aegis that additional chance. Ah, dang. I'm still gonna go to Sterling, who sells silver tier items. There's a lot of them that I really want, and I will happily sell Virus and an induction if I find the right thing. Combat Core. It is a core. When you use any item to the left of this gains 10 damage to the fight. When you use any item to the right of this gains 10 shield for the fight. And every 4 seconds, it deals 20 damage and gains 20 shield. It's too far away for me to buy, unfortunately. Kinetic cannon when you use a small item. When you use a small item, give this 10 damage to the fight. I do want to try and put a combat core on field. I've never done it. But, like, there's no way that I can keep Brick Buddy. Brick Buddy is my shielding scaling. Okay. I'm getting rid of Virus and Brick Buddy. I'm so sorry, Brick Buddy. And Wallace. And I'm going to buy the combat core. I'm going to try this out. So the combat core, when you use any item to the left of this, it gets 10 damage to the fight. No items to the left of it. It is a core type item. That's important. There are some things that say when you use the core, this will still trigger that. When you use any item to the left of this, so it's not going to gain damage, it's going to gain shielding, and if it gains shielding at the same trigger time, actually it gains it slightly faster than the force field, that's unfortunate, but it'll give me the shield just before the force field then tries to deal damage with it. Ultimately, the thing that probably least fits in this build at this point is Armadillo. When you shield charge this 2 seconds, I could see a world where I end up putting the critical core in Armadillo's position instead. We'll see. Because I want items that use themselves as quickly as possible on the right of that. Oh boy. 85% crit chance on a sniper rifle. And I've now got enough shielding to survive it. Thankfully, survive the first shot at least. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm surviving the second. But it's not gonna happen. I still wish I got Borea. I still wish I beat Borea. Kev's Armory, Health, Toughness, and Shield. I do want Health, Toughness, and Shield. I just don't really have anything to trade for it at the moment. I could go to the docks and get shields and some money. Which I think I'll do, as much as I really wanted the health from Snack Time. Oh, Copperhead now doing 3 poison and 15 shield. I expected this might end up being the case. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna end up selling it so that I can go to eating contests to get to get slightly more HP rather than was on offer for free. I didn't want to do that. I'm not gonna tell you I liked it, just that it did happen. Mod Squad. You've got a First Aiden is basically the most powerful thing you've got for me there. Sabertooth. You've got those shiny diamond fangs, which would actually be a weapon that attacks multiple times. That'd be a great thing to put next to the duct tape. So, there's these. Shiny Fang, every 2.8 seconds. That's because of the Diamond Fang. It's actually every 4 seconds. Deal 4 damage, has multicast. They're actually Diamond tier as well, so they are probably dealing a lot more damage. Oh, they deal 40 by default? Wow. Sadly, I missed them. 2 extract poison, some income, loot reduction, cooldown. I do feel lacking in money a lot of the time. I'm going to take some income right now. Unit sells non-weapon items. There's a racetrack. Definitely a good time for some golden experience. Tox Clock sells haste, slow, and cooldown items. I'm going to have a look at you, actually. Pylon. When you slow, haste an item for a second. Every 3 seconds, slow an item for 1 second. There's the duct tape upgrade here, which I'm just going to take. I don't think Pylon goes in this build. I definitely don't think I have the money for it. Unless I ended up selling something like Force Field, which I don't want to do. I do want haste on things. But I also want shield. I got the duct tape upgrade. I can't be too mad about that. Alright, Milk Jug Dog. Have you got a build that shields more than mine and does enough damage to suppress my shield? At the same time. It has to be at the same time. Oh boy, that definitely does enough damage to suppress my shield. What with the Ganjo increasing the damage of a yo-yo and the shielding and healing of a bandage. Okay, I like how Buku Bonza, the triggers on over on this right-hand side end up going, giving the combat core some serious growth. Markun sells medium and large. There's a lot to benefit from gumballs right now, actually. Any yellow gumball is absolutely incredible. 1 shield to all of my items on board. Red is probably the least impactful. Probably the least impactful for us right now. Just considering the fact that I already scale that damage. Eating contest for some more HP, please. I definitely can't beat the Lich. Tell you that much for free. Way too much HP on that bad boy. 2,750. All of my stuff gets frozen and slowed at the start of the fight. Yeah, I just died of poison way faster than I can do anything to him. Trash Golem, largely ammo-related. Dire Inglets. I don't really want to fight any of you. I would love to see other options on this day. Let's fight the Trash Golem. So realistically, right now, what is Armadillo for us, right? It's an item that activates constantly. I don't really care about the damage it deals, although it does actually deal pretty significant damage considering how often it's activating and how it's scaling. But it's just an item that activates commonly enough to get Combat Core to scale very effectively. Powder Keg, every 20 seconds, deal damage equal to 40% of your enemy's max HP and destroy this. When you burn, charge it for 2 seconds. Your core gains 3 damage for each weapon you have, including stash. Interesting. Obviously not good, but interesting. Core's cooldown is reduced by 5%. That would work on the combat core every 3.6 seconds. No, every 3.8 seconds it'd be. I'm going to take a random shield item. Welding helmet. That's not a bad shielding item. Activates every 3 seconds, shields for 12, and burns for 2. All sells large items, but I'm going to go work at the docks for a bit. See what they've got in terms of a shield item. Astrolabe. When you use another non-weapon, haste it for a second. Okay. Forger? Upgrade an item. Okay. I need to rethink this. Because the thing is, Combat Core is getting a lot of shielding, right? That's great. And then I want to use that shield to hit the enemy in the face. Force field, that's great. I need as many shield triggers as I possibly can. Is that true? Because that means Duct Tape and Armadillo both need to stay on board, which means I need to move Induction Aegis out to make space for Astrolabe and Welding Helmet. That's not true. Upgrading Combat Core will get it to scale a lot faster, which... yeah, it literally scales twice as fast. But the thing is, all the additional shielding it's giving me means absolutely nothing if I don't then translate that into damage in some way. Is there like this? Is this something? So suddenly all of my damage is Armadillo off of shield triggers? I think that might be something. This is a lot more shielding, right? So instead of Force Field activating every 3.6 seconds, and let's say the Induction and Force Field both activate every 4 seconds, right? Instead now we have Welding Helmet activating every 3 seconds, and then every 2 seconds thereafter, because of the Astrolabe. The Astrolabe is activating every 6 seconds. That's a little slow. The Duct Tape every 5 seconds. Actually, the Astrolabe doesn't want to go on this board. I don't think the Astrolabe makes sense on this board, actually. Back when the Astrolabe used to haste both its target and itself, would have made a lot more sense there. I've just got so many spaces on my border dedicated to weapons, so the Astrolabe isn't really doing anything to them. Oh, Corrosive Toxins, when you poison your enemies, lose 6 damage. 6 damage? That's the gold tier version of it? And there's also Weather Glass with a full 5 multicast. Wow. I mean, the enemy's not removing my shielding, which means, like, my force field should still do really good damage. Wait, no, they are building up burn, which is removing my shielding. How dare you? Thank heck I have sharp corners, otherwise I would have no damage. Look at my Armadillo. Look at my poor little Armadillo.
Next time, boys, less blunder, more blunder.
Shield skills, please, Fortis. Any additional scaling would be greatly appreciated.
Don't get so defensive, Fortis.
Ooh.
But I'm a shield master.
First time you fall low half health each fight, shield equal to 20% of your max HP. Your large shield items have 12 additional shields. Your shield items have 2 additional shields, or 9% crit chance across the board. I think at this point we go 9% crit chance across the board.
First principle of shield mastery. Always have one.
We've got an Astrolabe, so we can work for 5 gold and 2 experience here. Or, sorry, 5 gold and 1 experience. It got made worse. Gonna get rid of the Powder Keg. I don't think that's coming back on board at any point. Shock Trooper, that's largely burn related. Thug, you don't really have items that I want. You just have Bonk. Bonk and the Thieves Guild Medallion, to be fair. Which isn't nothing. That's actually a lot. Alright. Give me Bonk. Give me some more time every fight before I get frozen. Oh boy, that poison's doing something serious. Oh no, wait, it wasn't poison, it was the anchor. I feel a lot better about that now. spices. Your weapons gain damage equal to your weakest weapon's damage for the fight. My weapons scale their damage over the course of the fight, so that's not that likely to be that good for us. So scrap for additional shielding on the duct tape. 24 additional shielding every time I use an adjacent item to it. I'm probably getting rid of the spices, but I'm not doing it just yet. Eating contest. We're still in a period of time when max HP matters deeply to me. Which is to say, we're still playing the game. Alright, I gotta sell Astrolabe or Welding Helmet. I don't think that I'm ever taking the Combat Core and Force Field off the board. I think that's my scaling, my defense scaling, my damage scaling. Both of them work together with the sharp corners. I don't think Duct Tape's going off the board. I don't think Astrolabe is ever going on as a result. Too many non-weapons on that board. Hull sells large items. Oh no, gumballs are still so good for us though. Come on, yellow. I will happily take blue, but like, did you give me yellow? Single blue. We did get a lot of yellow in the first time. We got a lot more red though. Yeah, there's more red. Okay, so our crit chance is up to 21% on the force field and 11% on everything else. Dope Gamer, 542. Those are the wrong numbers, buddy. Guessing 420 was taken. Ooh, it's a katana build. It's a lifesteal katana. Their damage on that katana appears to be scaling from... Oh no, it was flanking shots gave it an additional 15 damage. Okay, so it's not going to continue scaling, which means I probably win the fight. I think my shield will scale high enough that that's going to be an irrelevant amount of damage to me quite quickly. Brick Buddy's actually a lot better at making additional shields than the combat core is right now. All that while being friendly as well. Yeah, their lifesteal is nice, but they're attacking constantly. That gives me a little bit of pause that they might just survive long enough for the sandstorm to help them. I guess I should restart the game after this one. And, okay, they get to hit me one more time. They get the lifesteal from that, and then they die. Woo! Vermeer sells crit skills. And with 21% crit and, 11 on the others, that's very approachable.
Every creature has a weak point. I see yours already.
When you crit, your burn items gain 2 burn for the fight. Oh, actually, I have an idea. You're a friend and you're a tool. Okay. There's a world where I sell induction Aegis later for the welding torch, soldering torch, actually, soldering iron. It says every 5 seconds, deal 1 burn. This has +1 multicast if it's adjacent to a tool, and +1 multicast if it's adjacent to a friend. So if I put that between Armadillo and Duct Tape, every 5 seconds, that's 3 triggers of shield from the Duct Tape, as well as 3 triggers of burn. And if I have improvised burn, that burn could be really big. Is that a bad idea? Maybe that's a bad idea. Left eye, your leftmost item has 5 additional crit chance. Additional crit chance on the combat core is worth its weight in gold. And it'll keep me in the money. I'm actually going to keep it in the money. I'm not going to go for that. Zara, thank you. This is so much better. The first time you freeze each fight, haste your items for 3 seconds. Incredible. The first time you haste, when you haste rather, give your items 1% crit chance for the fight. There's also, first time you use a large item each fight, haste adjacent items for 4 seconds, and the first time you haste each fight, freeze an item for 4 seconds. I'm gonna find, like, Creeping Cough or something like that, or, you know, the one for burn. So yes, Invigorating Cold, and then I'm looking for any freeze access. You're a vehicle, aren't you, buddy? Yes, Combat Core, you are a vehicle. That makes the car conductor very appealing here. Your shield vehicles gain 30% shield, your weapon vehicles gain 30% weapon. There's also, if you have a vehicle, reduce your non-vehicles cooldowns by 5%. That's pretty cool too. Slow an item for 2 seconds when you slow, haste a vehicle for 2 seconds. There's Race Car here. Captain's Wheel, when you use a vehicle or a large item, charge this 2 seconds. Popping that between the force field and the combat core would be nice. Get them to go a lot faster. They would actually be perma-hasted just off the back of that. The only problem is I then have to decide what else goes off the board. So, instead, it's nice that we got the propane tank. Every 9 seconds, haste your vehicles for 2 seconds. When you use a vehicle, burn 2. Core gains 3 shield for each non-weapon you have, including stash. Thank you. Definitely 3 loot items in this instance as well. There's no use for that propane tank here. Vial of Blood. Some additional crit chance for the combat core. Critting on shielding is very nice. JJ sells items in general, but the chocolate bars are mine. Kina sells non-weapon items. Small utility box and then Curio. Hitting up Curio for cooldown reduction is really nice, but like, do I want it? Crusher Claw, eventually Combat Core will scale large enough that Crusher Claw is good, but at that same time, Force Field is doing the same thing while still shielding me. I'm gonna go to Kina and just look at your non-combat items.
Leave with big bargains.
Gapoo! Every 4 seconds, haste the core for 3 seconds. That's really good for the combat core. That wants to go as quickly as possible, please.
Friend, but I'm glad you bought this.
So there goes the Induction Aegis from our build. Probably never to go on again. Micro Day, when you use a small item, charge this a second, and there's Pylon back. I'll roll. Induction Aegis for the upgrade, no thank you. Alright, Zerx. First off, I'm going to restart the game and I'll be back with you in a sec. And with a reload, we should have some good quick resolution speed in this fight. I can't wait to get a freeze on board. A single freeze, hasting all of my items for 3 seconds. Oh, for a scaling build? Oh. Beast of Burden. It's only got 7% crit chance, but it is already doing 2,000 damage. That's a lot of damage. And the enemy is also slowing my stuff very well with a golden marbles next to an Awashiwali and a succulents. Making it very difficult for me to fight back here. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough shielding. Oh, no! You actually crit me. 7% crit chance. I would have survived without it. How dare you? How dare you? Oh. My heart breaks. It's time for some chocolate to try and make it all better. Get a tool, extracts of poison, value. Sharpening stone for damage. Honestly, it's not nothing to put that on the Armadillo, but I don't know how long the Armadillo is going to last on this board state. I'm going to take a tool. Charging station. When you use the item to the left of this, charge the item to the right. 2 seconds. Just immediately. Charge it. And then when you use the core, give it 40 plus damage for the fight. Well, that's a very expensive item you just gave me. I slow down so much of my activation by taking Armadillo off the board, though. But is there a world where it's this? Whenever I use the combat core, charge the force field immediately 2 seconds. And also, when the combat core is used, it gives... I mean, the combat core is also going to go off really quickly because of the GPU. Maybe this is a build. Let's check out Vermeer's crit skills, see if they've got anything good for me. Your large items have plus 20% crit, that's wild. When you crit, your shield items gain 10 shield for the fight. That's also not bad. Considering how we've been building. Weapons platform, please, please. Please give me your skill. Distributed systems. When you use a large item, haste 2 items, 2 small items for 2 seconds. Freezing is pretty bad for my build right now. It's definitely pretty harsh on me. Uzi. Every 2 seconds deal 8 damage. I mean, it's a very quick attacking weapon, but it's got ammo, and I don't really want it. Nuvo sells skills, though. Critical Protector only giving 3% additional crit chance for a 12 upgrade. Bit rough. When you crit, your burn items gain burn for the fight. No thank you. First time use large item each fight. Shield equal to 10% of your max HP. I mean, I already have the lower tier version of that, so that's just upgrading it to 20%. I'm going to reroll. I'd really love to see something that's giving me the freeze access that I was looking for. First time you poison each fight, freeze. Nope, I don't have that. When you haste, give your items 1% crit chance for the fight. I'll take it, but I don't have access to the haste for it yet. I'm going to sell my extract and hit up the gumball machine for 5 gumballs here. And you know what? I'm gonna get 2 more gumballs for the Armadillo. I don't know if Critical Core is the right choice. To replace Charging Station? I've never even got to use this before. I just want very quick resolutions. I want haste. I want cooldown reduction. Oh no. First time use the core each fight. Freeze an item for 6 seconds. How dare you. And that's the lizard. Okie dokie. Does that take my... No! It gets me to just before Fate. Oh, that's great. I'm going to upgrade the combat core again, get it to its diamond tier. I was really hoping it would double again to 40 for the shielding and... Alas. Snack time, 275 max HP. I'll take that over the gumball machine this time, especially because I need to save some money so that I can go to the Bazaar con. I didn't know I was saving my money for this. And I didn't even need my money in it. Trash Titan versus Lords of the Wastes. So Trash Titan definitely still has Juggler, which is good for us. It also has Catalyst. Catalyst, when you use the item to the left of this, haste the item to the right of this for 2 seconds. Catalyst is nice. It also has heavy weaponry. Your large weapons deal 72 additional damage. I mean, all of that's nice. Lord of the Wastes. Lord of the Wastes has Pendulum. Give 30% crit chance to 2 adjacent items when you crit. Haste an item for 3 seconds. That's not nothing. They also give 2 additional experience, which is really hard to turn down. because I only really care about Juggler from Trash Titan. But also, I could get the Genie here. Genie's Lamp, I could get access to Genie Writ. See, it feels like this is a build. When it starts doing itself, it feels like this is a build. When any player uses an item, all items gain 2% crit chance for the fight. This is something I really don't think I actually want, because I already have crit chance on my things. Sure, it's not 100% crit chance, but I have crit chance on my... improvised protection. It's just, it will give crit to my enemy as well. I'm gonna take it. Whatever. I don't want to be in the fight that long. Pulse cooldowns reduced by 5%. Get a tool. Scrap for additional shield. Yeah, the GBU is affecting the core. I just want to watch it hasted in combat, because I also haven't seen this with haste on. Which is concerning. I'm gonna go for the core cooldown reduction. It's really important. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty much exactly where I want to be. Let's go, sparring partner. Let's see how good this build can get. Okay, yeah, the haste is going off. Good. Okay, and now we're officially... we're not officially critting with everything, but we're getting pretty close. I'm liking it. It's a lot of shield. I definitely think this is a build. It's got all the hallmarks. It's just slowing is also very disruptive to it right now, and I haven't got a way to prevent that. Freeze, obviously, quite disrupting to it too. Kina sells non-weapon items, but I'm going to take a chance on a rare event or a merchant. Cults. Trade health, power. I mean, I'll go, because I can just leave if I don't want it. Silver Ritual Dagger, small weapon with lifesteal. Lose 10% max HP for 25 regeneration? Not awful, actually. But 25 regeneration is eclipsed very, very quickly by the amount of poison that can be put out. Lose 20% max HP and get Deadly enchanted on the combat core. The thing is, I already get to Deadly pretty quickly. With Foreboding Winds, it doesn't take that long for this to be critting. 30% for a Diamond Tier Runic Double Bow. Every 6 seconds, multicast 2, has 100 damage, life steals, and has double crit damage. I'm gonna skip him. I need my HP.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobodies.
I think this build already is good at doing all of the things that I was currently there being offered. Oh. When you use a non-weapon item, this gains 10 shield for the fight. Okay, so you've got shield scaling on your board. You haven't got consistent. Yeah.
Next time, boys, less blunder, more plunder.
You haven't got consistent freeze, which is what I would really need to be scared of. 7. We take 7s. We're happy with 7s. There's nothing wrong with 7. Orion sells tools. Duct tape upgrade is so minimal. It's just an additional second of slow and 5 on the shielding. Let's go for chocolate bars and get finally above 5,000. Well, Kun sells medium and large items. Middle sells medium items. Snack time for 300. Thank you. Void Golem, you destroy an item at the very start of the fight. It is too easy for you to destroy combat core and leave me high and dry. So I'm going to go for the Trash Titan, hoping that we get Juggler. I'll settle for heavy weaponry, but I definitely want Juggler. Ectoplasm every 6 seconds, poison 3, and then heal equal to your enemy's poison. Not really, that kind of thing. Optimization protocol, upgrade the core, the critical core, which I don't field. Titan protocol for some additional health. Gain additional scrap. I mean, realistically, at some point, I don't care about the amount of shield triggers I get. I just care that most items activate on that side, because the combat core is activating fast enough and is critting enough to keep me healthy. So I don't think it's get scrap and then add it to the ductate. I'm gonna get a shield item. Chrono Barrier. Enemy items cooldowns are increased by 1. Now, I don't really like that yet, but eventually I think I could see a position for that. Currently, all of my damage is the combat core passing over to the force field, the ability to crit. Or rather, the ability to immediately attack for whatever I put into the combat core. And doing it quite quickly. The GPU haste. So what, I've got one open slot that is negotiable? What's Chrono Barrier gonna do in one slot? It's not the right size. Chris Army Knife is here every 5 seconds, shielding and damaging. Not really into it. Missiles, I love seeing you. I would have loved to see you earlier when I was looking for weapons. Dianosaur. When you destroy, or rather, if your enemy has at least 5 items, destroy a small enemy item for the fight. And again, all about. Yep, none of those, but Nufu. Nufu sells skills. And those are good. There we go. Wait, hang on. Captain's Charge. The first time you use a large item each fight, which is going to be the combat core. Dang it. Haste adjacent items for 12 seconds. There's no adjacent items to the combat core. Oh, bugger. And static acceleration for even more crit chance, but I'm only getting 1 haste trigger still. I'm rolling. The core has its cooldown reduced by 10%. While you have burn, double this effect. Yep. Absolutely. The speed of activation of the combat core is like the only thing on my board that matters. Brick Tackle, even if you do freeze all my items on board, hit me in the face, bunch of poison, etc. Oh, it's burn. There's still some freezing going on in the beta ray. Not that much though. But even if you do all of that, I'm not really going to be too intimidated here, because if I lose, I just get to see fate. Oh, that's a lot of burn. That was a whole diamond tier Omega Ray. Yeah, that's a lot of burn. Show me a random enchantment. Enchant an item with heal effects, you say? Charging station. When you use the core, heal 60. Force field. Heal equal to your shield! Force field! Oh. Oh. I know it's expensive, but money is not as much of an issue to me at the moment. I want max HP. JJ sells items in general.
Sometimes I sell stuff.
Name shield reduces items cooldown when you slow. No, thank you. Race call for the haste triggers.
okay. It was nice to see you.
Volkos Enforcer could give us the ability to freeze. But it's also very likely to screw my build over. But it also doesn't do that much damage. But it wouldn't have to do that much damage to screw with me. I'm gonna go to the Property Baron. I love the big shield! Skyscraper. Deals damage equal to 3 times the value of your items. This has double value in combat. If you have 4 or fewer items in play, this has +1 multicast. Let's just, like, entertain the possibility. So, like, that? And then the skyscraper is... That's not even that much damage. Skyscraper, please. Cause cooldowns reduced by 5%. It's going to be difficult to beat that. Quicksil sells small and medium items. Andy sells small items. I'm going to go for the small items and hope to pick up GPU or a good replacement for duct tape.
Ask the price. You can't afford it.
Lens, give the core 10 damage for this fight. When this gains haste, charge at 2 seconds. Isochoric Freezer and the... Isochoric Freezer freezes an item for 2 seconds. Coolant freezes an item for 3 seconds and cleanses half your burn. I guess, like, you can't let someone get a critical mass of enough freeze, but still, like... What makes Isochoric Freezer better than Coolant? It freezes 4 less at a longer cooldown. Nitro, burn both players for 6, and charge an item 2 seconds. That burn will increase the cooldown, or lower the cooldown of my combat core, increase the cooldown reduction of it. But I also don't need to put it on board. Enemies will occasionally burn me, triggering that anyway, but also this charges a random item for 2 seconds. There's not a lot of random that I want for a single slot. It's a lot to give up. Especially when crits are causing my duct tape to shield for more. Fall sells large items. Yeah, I did think it was really unlikely I was going to come here and pick up the regenerative force field. There's Mamasaur, though. Deal 200 damage. If your enemy has at least 5 items, destroy a small or medium item for the enemy fight. And when you destroy an item during combat, your dinosaurs permanently gain 25 damage. Bunker when you take damage from an item shield equal to 30% of it. And Solar Farm for a bunch of haste. Just can't fit it on field, unfortunately. And also, it's burn related, and I don't really do burn.
Was it too heavy? They tell me it's a problem.
Should I put Chrono Barrier on field against a dually? Is that the play? I just feel like I have so few items activating at that point. If this was Platinum, maybe I would do it. Platinum, Diamond tier. If it was slowing all enemy cooldowns by 2 seconds, I think I would do that. It's a poison build. Oh! You've got your robot friends have multicast. And you froze my combat core immediately. And if I managed to find one of my freeze triggers, especially if it started at the start of the fight. Ooh! 170 poison. Wow! Hey, I'm really happy I finally got to do a run with the combat core. Finally got to suit up, insert dually, I can only imagine right here, and then go around for a ride. The restorative force field as well, showing that it heals for the same amount of shield. It doesn't say that right here, but heals for the same amount of shield. Finally got to use the charging station for the first time. I'm pretty happy with this. Definitely better decisions that could have been made over the course of that run. But 2 chests. 2 chests and getting to use new items, that's a pretty big victory. That's a W in my mind. For the moment, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been The Bazaar. Top left is a series playlist for all of my content on the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations are down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And above the thank you, and a special thanks this episode to Eloise. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.